This is the Wellness Club, where we dive into all things wellness, from nutrition to fitness to productivity and more. We are exploring the science to help you feel your best inside and out. I'm your host, Cass Camp, and I am so happy that you're here. Welcome to the club. Hi guys, welcome back to the podcast. My name is Cass, and today's episode is going to truly help you out when it comes to eating healthy on a budget. Now, I hear it all the time. Eating healthy is so expensive, boo-hoo. And here's what I have to say about this. Eating healthy can definitely be expensive if you're not doing it right. In this week's episode, I'm definitely going to give you the tips that I use to save money while grocery shopping, because let's face it, groceries are expensive, and the organic, grass-fed, better quality products are definitely more money than the lower quality products. But there are definitely ways to save money while grocery shopping. You just got to do it right. I feel like I've definitely figured out my grocery shopping routine, and I'm happy to share it with you guys so that you can save some money and still eat healthy. When it comes to the whole conversation of eating healthy is so expensive, my first thing that I just have to say is we live in a world where we will drop money on stupid things so quickly, but then we're the first to complain that groceries are expensive. And let me tell you, groceries are definitely expensive. We all know it. We've all seen the prices. Things are much more money now than they were before, but we are also the same people, and I am included in this too, where we'll go on Amazon and drop $100 on random things you can't even remember what you bought, but then we'll complain that grass-fed organic beef is $7. And it's like, what? And this is the stuff that you're putting in your body every single day. Like, we won't buy the organic carrots because they're $4 instead of $3, but we'll spend a bunch of money on TikTok Shop on random things that you won't even use next week. It's crazy. And when it comes to grocery shopping, I feel like I've always had the mindset since I started grocery shopping on my own that healthy food and good quality food that I'm literally eating every single day is worth the money to me. And I would rather lower my expenses in other areas before I lower my expenses in groceries. You guys know I do a budget every single month. And when I look at my expenses and I look at what I spent in the past month, I almost never really question my grocery shopping bill. Of course, if it's higher than normal, I will take a look at it and be like, that is a lot of money. But to me, groceries are one of those non-negotiable expenses that I just have to spend money on. Groceries, gas, bills, those are things that you need to spend your money on. And to me, I would so much rather lower my expenses on my shopping or my social life, going out to eat. All of those things to me, I can change, but groceries are always to me a non-negotiable thing. And of course, there are strategies that I will share with you to save some money on groceries, but I do just want you to evaluate your mindset on the topic of spending money on groceries. Because if you are spending your money willy-nilly on Amazon and just random things that we all do, like our lifestyle now is just so consumerism based. But if you are happily dropping money on random things and then you complain about groceries, maybe reevaluate your spending. And this is a great time to also say, if you've never tracked your expenses and sat down and added up every single aspect of your life, how much money you spend on each thing, I highly recommend you do that at least for a month or two to see where you're actually spending your money, because I think you'll be surprised when you see how much you spend on random things. And there are definitely other categories of your life to cut down first. The few areas that just come to mind for me, like I said, are social life, going out to eat, and shopping on Amazon or just on any website, at the mall, wherever. Those three places, I'm much quicker to try to reduce my spending versus the things that I need to spend money on, like groceries, my classes for school, even travel. I know when I book a trip, once I'm on the trip, I don't want to have to nickel and dime at a group dinner or when I'm out traveling. When I travel, I want to have a good time. So to me, if I booked that trip, it's because I knew I could afford it. But when it comes to just everyday shopping, everyday spending that you spend on random things, that's where I would like to lower my spending. So now let's get into the actual strategies to save some money while eating healthy. First things first is get on the coupons. I know it sounds old. I know it sounds like grandma, but I am that girl with the coupons, and my local store has an app with all the coupons on there. But you do actually for my app at least, have to do some work to get these coupons. They don't just automatically come out. You have to go on the app and search up your items and then add the coupons to your account, and then they come off when you check out. Obviously, every store is different, but figure out what your store offers, whether it's in the newsletter, on an app, in your email, wherever it is, and use the coupons because honestly, it doesn't sound like you'll save a lot of money, but if you're buying a lot of stuff every single week, you will save money. I mean, I feel like I saved at least like $35 one time, which adds up. I'm going grocery shopping every single week, at least once a week. So to use the coupons, especially on things I'm already buying, that's saving you money that you might be missing out on if you don't have the app or the email or whatever the grocery store has. And then I know a lot of grocery stores do this too, where once you're in their account, they'll offer you free things. So mine always says like a free ham or turkey or chicken for Thanksgiving and for Easter. And even though I'm not the one usually making the turkey on these days, they have usually other options. And that's like a free extra thing, extra perk that you're already spending the money anyway. You might as well get the meat or whatever they're offering. I also use these coupons or the deals to kind of lead what I'm buying for the week. So I don't do this 100% because obviously there are things that I need to buy, whether they're on sale or not. But sometimes I'll switch up the brand that I'm buying, or I'll switch up the meals that I'm having for that week if I notice that something I really like is having a great sale or a great deal. Especially if I see that the meats or the protein, the things that are usually the more expensive products, are on sale, I will definitely go for them first and figure out a meal based on them and around them, and then add in the other stuff. Little things like that can definitely make a difference every single week if you're just kind of going willy-nilly right now. Focusing on the coupons and the deals can really lead the direction of what you're purchasing. Another hack that I want to tell you guys that I don't know if everyone's aware of is the left side of every grocery store price tag. So up in the top left corner, there's another price that's separate from the price of the actual item. And this is the unit price. So this is usually the price per pound. And it tells you how much this item is based on the unit of the item. And if you've never used this before, this unit price basically helps you compare that item to other sizes of the same item so that you can get the best deal. So a lot of us, we think that the smaller ones are going to be more money compared to the bigger ones. Like you want to buy things in bulk to save money. But I'm here to tell you that's not always the case. And it's crazy. A lot of marketing strategies make you think that. Like, for example, I went grocery shopping today and I was buying Cafe Bustelo coffee because my boyfriend likes that kind. And they have like the little bricks, or they have like a big jumbo one that makes you think you're going to save money. Literally, that big jumbo one was like $2 more per unit compared to the little bricks. So instead of buying that big jumbo one, I just bought a bunch of the bricks because they're actually cheaper per unit. I know this isn't a math podcast, but that means that you can get the same volume of the big size for much cheaper buying a bunch of little ones if the unit price is like that. Just because something is a bigger size and you're buying it in bulk does not mean you're getting a cheaper rate. A lot of times that's the case, but sometimes it's really not, and it's important to look at that. Another example of this is I was buying laundry detergent today, and the same exact thing was true. The unit price on the bigger container was actually more money than the little ones by a long shot. So I ended up buying just a bunch of the little laundry detergent containers because they were cheaper. This might sound intense, and honestly, I feel like I'm on extreme couponers when I'm telling you this hack because it's only a few dollars difference, but over time and with a lot of items, that really does make a big difference. And it's crazy that a lot of these products are marketed like they're the better deal when really they're not. And if you've never looked at this before, I highly recommend you start looking for the unit price and comparing them, because you're going to be shocked that certain items that you thought were cheaper are actually not cheaper. The next hack that I have for you guys to eat healthy on a budget is to eat seasonally if you can when it comes to your produce. So when you're buying produce, there's a system and a way to purchase produce throughout the year to ensure that you're saving money when you can. When a product is in season, especially if it's local to you, it's usually a lot cheaper and a lot higher quality compared to an out of season product. So for example, during the winter, if I wanted to buy a watermelon, I would spend a lot more money on watermelon compared to if I was buying it in the summer. And that's because its natural season is in the summer. When you buy out of season stuff, it's usually imported from other places, and that causes it to be a lot more money and also usually lower quality by the time it gets to you. So to avoid this, I like to just look up what produce is in season when, and I have a pretty good idea on the produce that I always buy, like sweet potatoes versus watermelon and pineapple and apples and this and that. But if you're ever confused on like what's in season right now, just Google it and you'll see that there's a ton of vegetables and fruits that are in season during different parts of the year. And it's usually, like I said, higher quality and cheaper compared to the out of season time frame. I also really like doing this just in general because it helps inspire different meals for me. So instead of just eating the same vegetables all the time, this gives me a new challenge to make different vegetables that I might not be used to making or something that's in season that I've always wanted to try. And it just makes it more fun, but it's also definitely more cost effective and higher quality for the price you're paying. And similarly to this, buy from local stands if you can. We have a farm stand that's right down the road from me that I can't wait till they open again for this season. They open May 1st and I literally can't wait because they have just the best high quality produce that they all grow right there. So I know it's local, it's made in my town. They give us a better deal than they give the grocery stores. And it's just so much better. And you're supporting a local business. Like it's literally a win-win-win-win-win. I just can't wait until they open back up. If you have local farm stands, go purchase from them first. Literally, as soon as they open up in May, I go there first and then I go to my traditional grocery store because I would rather buy all the stuff that they have than buy grocery store produce if I can avoid it. Or even sometimes I live in a very farm heavy town. So even sometimes there are houses that just have little gardens that they'll set up a little stand on their front lawn and you just put the money in their thing. It's like an honor system. I'll even stop at places like that and buy stuff that they have because I would so much rather eat something fresh and homegrown than go to the grocery store and eat something that they've had in boxes for weeks, because that's what's happening. Like the grocery store stuff you see is not immediately fresh. It's usually with pesticides and just extra stuff to make it last longer. So especially like in the summer season, I really try to go as local as I can. Even better would be growing your own produce. I don't know what your backyard looks like, but if you have space and you've always been interested in gardening, definitely get into that, grow some produce, and then you literally have like free produce. If that's not your thing, I totally understand. Even something easy like herbs are so easy to grow, especially during the summertime, and then you have them and then you don't have to buy them and they're fresh, like parsley, mint, thyme, whatever you want to eat, whatever you use a lot. That's always a fun thing to do too. My mom literally has like the best, most beautiful herb garden every year with parsley, basil, literally every herb you could possibly imagine. She'll have like chocolate mint, spearmint, regular mint, and then she cooks with all of it, puts it in her water, puts it in drinks. It's amazing. And it's so fresh and then free. Another thing that I like to use when I'm eating healthy on a budget is using the Dirty Dozen list. So this Dirty Dozen list is the 12 fruits and vegetables that tend to have the highest pesticides, and therefore it's better to get them organic. A lot of people talk about getting organic fruits and vegetables, and organic is definitely better, but not when it comes to every single fruit and vegetable. You don't always need to buy organic. And if you're ever confused on what to buy organic and what not, the Dirty Dozen clears that up for you. For 2025, some of the Dirty Dozen foods are strawberries, spinach, apples, bell peppers, blueberries, cherries, and then there's some more. But it's typically things that you actually eat the skin. So something like bananas, organic bananas are not really necessary because even if they are with pesticides, you're not eating that skin and the skin kind of protects the food. Where something like a strawberry, you're eating pretty much the entire strawberry. And if it's sprayed with a lot of pesticides, even if you're cleaning them, it's not really as good for you compared to purchasing organic. There's also the Clean 15 list, which is the opposite of the Dirty Dozen. And these are fruits and vegetables that have the lowest pesticide residues. And these are things like watermelon, sweet potatoes, onions, avocados. And like I said, they're typically foods that you're not eating the outside. So I feel like that protects the food a lot more compared to the foods that you eat the entire thing. I'm not perfect with this. I don't eat organic all the time and I don't purchase everything organic. I do try to use this to inspire what I'm purchasing and be mindful of this. And then of course, always wash your vegetables and fruits. I think that goes without saying, but even the ones that you're not eating the skin, I clean the entire thing with water and some white vinegar, and you'll be shocked. If you let them soak, you'll see how much comes off of them, even if you think you rinse them and clean them. Another tip for eating healthy on a budget is purchase the whole produce on its own. So I know that there's a lot of pre-packaged, pre-sliced, pre-cut up produce, fruits and vegetables. Those are typically so much more money compared to buying the real thing. And they're also usually older. And that's why they're in there. So a lot of grocery stores will take things that are going bad and slice them up and get rid of the bad parts and then package them up and sell them pre-cut. And that's the produce that you're getting. I know it saves a lot of time cutting it up, but if you can, buy the whole onion, buy the whole carrots, slice it up yourself and prep it yourself because you will save so much more money and you will get higher quality produce in the long run. I'm also not perfect with this because sometimes I do buy the pre-cut lettuce because I hate rinsing all the lo mein, letting it dry, cutting it up, and then it's still wet and then you have to do the whole thing. So to me, certain things are worth just, buying the lettuce or buying the pre-cut whatever. But just pick and choose what's important to you and try to buy whatever you can whole as much as possible. And it will also last a lot longer when you do that. And you get so much more for your money. And then the last tip, and I think this is the most important one, stop wasting the food that you're buying. The biggest way to save money is to actually eat the food you're spending the money on. So that means the spinach that's in the bottom of the drawer. That means the bananas that you're never going to make banana bread with. If you're not going to actually eat them, stop buying them. It does not make you healthier if you buy spinach and just leave it in the drawer and never make it, okay? I've been there. We've all been there. You are not doing yourself any favors by buying these foods and then just wasting them and throwing them away. In order to help with this, first off, just make a menu every week, stick to the meal plan. Only buy ingredients that are actually for those meals. On my meal plan template, I literally will put the actual meal. And as I'm putting the meals, I also put the groceries needed for that meal to try to avoid overbuying or just buying things that I don't need. And then when I go to the grocery store, I literally only buy what's on my list. I try not to stray away and buy things that I see because that extra spinach, that extra broccoli, if it's not part of your menu, you're probably not going to cook it and then it's going to go to waste. Obviously, we don't always stick to the meal plan or always stick to the menu. And when I change it up, let's say I'm bored of the meal that I wrote or I go out to dinner or whatever, first I try to use those ingredients somewhere else and either add extra vegetables to a dinner the next day or have them as a snack. I really try to get creative to still use the ingredients that I have. But if that doesn't work or I'm busy or I just really bought too much stuff, I'll chop up whatever produce I have that's about to go bad or whatever meat that I have and I'll freeze it. This is the biggest life hack of all because you still get to save that food. And now you have pre-cut veggies that are ready to go. Or if you're freezing meat, now you have an extra option in case you run out or you have people over or there's a last minute dinner or whatever. Now you have extra options. I love doing this because there's nothing worse than wasting food. I hate wasting food. I hate if at the end of the week I'm cleaning out my fridge and I'm throwing out a bunch of stuff, especially stuff that I never even ended up using. That makes me sick to my stomach and sad, and I don't like doing that. So if I can avoid it, I really try to get creative with using up everything that I have or freezing it for another time. Sometimes the biggest reason that you're wasting money every single week is because you're not storing your food properly. So knowing the tips of freezing stuff that you didn't get to, or even just storing your food so that it lasts longer and you don't have to throw it out as quickly, can really stretch your budget and stretch the food that you bought for the week. So those are my tips. Eating healthy does not have to be super expensive. And like I mentioned in the very beginning, you're spending the money anyway on other things that I think your grocery bill should be one of the last things that you're trying to cut down on cost. First, I would check out your Amazon bill, check out your TikTok shop bill, just check out other places that you're spending money, and then cut down on the grocery shopping if that's really something holding you back on your budget. I hope you like these tips. Let me know if you use them or try them out, or if you've already been doing them. I would love to hear from you. Follow me on Instagram @CassCamp, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.